President Biden and ungrateful Hollywood liberals bashing America on the 4th of July, lashing out over the recent Supreme Court ruling on abortion.
Liberty is under assault both here and abroad. In recent days, there's been reason to think that this country is moving backward, that freedom is being reduced, that rights we assume were protected are no longer.
Hollywood celebs following Biden's lead. Barbra Streisand claims our democratic republic remains in danger because of former President Trump. Jessica Chastain using July 4th to flash her middle fingers. Classy. And Katy Perry getting mocked after tweeting, quote, "Baby, you're a firework" is a 10, but women in the U.S. have fewer rights than an actual sparkler. Okay, Harold, you know, if these people are so unhappy here, why are they here?
Well, I don't want to speak for them. I imagine if they wanted to leave,
they're speaking to you.
Most of them are wealthy enough they could do whatever they want. But I tell you, I step back and look, I don't express myself that way. I think yesterday, Jesse and I think I texted with about everybody around the table, with the exception of Kaylee, saying, look, this is the day to pause and celebrate the brilliance and courage of our founders. We should all recognize that they were brilliant. They were not perfect. And when we accept that, we realize that the challenge they gave us is to make the union more perfect. So as I listen to them, you know, I probably would, again, I wouldn't have done it quite that way, but you think about the backdrop. 25% of America approves of the Supreme Court. Judge, you know, that really means that's a moniker, and Kayla, you know as well, that's a moniker for the rule of law. And when the country does not respect the final arbiter of that, at the level that it should. That number's never been that low in my life. 38% of Americans, I think I might have seen you guys on your show, Kaylee, talk about this as well. 38% of Americans wanted to celebrate, they wanted to be patriotic and wanted to celebrate the 4th of July. Something is wrong, and what I view that as is a distress signal that the country's sending out to leaders in every sphere, politics, business, media, to your point, Greg. Everyone's a leader. If you're a parent, you're a leader. If you're a manager in your company, your own company or another company, you're a leader. And everyone has to accept some responsibility as we think about these things. And again, people can express themselves the way they want. We have a First Amendment, and they should do that. But at the end of the day, we all have to be better leaders if we want the country to be better and more perfect.
You know, Jesse, the whole idea of the Hollywood elite saying that they hate America and they don't respect America. I mean, part of that, I think, is that 88% of the people in this country think that the country is headed in the wrong direction. Can they separate the two?
No. You know how big on etiquette I am, Judge. I was raised properly. And so I see July 4th as a birthday party. And you don't go to someone's birthday party and attack them. You don't give them double middle fingers as they're blowing out the candles. If you want to say something, say it on the way home, all right? But not in front of their face like that. I don't even know who she is. I see her always saying liberal things. I've never watched anything she's been in. Is she even a celebrity? I don't even think she qualifies. She's rude, and I think her parents are disappointed in her. And I used that line on my children this weekend, and I got to tell you, that line works. Being disappointed in someone is very effective, and she knows how disappointed I am in her. The other countries throughout the world, when they celebrate their independence or their big days like we do you think they're trashing their own country?
No.
Do you think the French on their big day are like running down Napoleon, or the Mexicans are in the streets saying, "Oh, we're run by cartels. This place stinks"? No, they're being proud Mexicans or French people, as proud as you can be. Now, Biden says, you know, that we're going backwards. Now, I don't like when Democrats are constantly saying we're moving backwards. Every time the Democrats change anything, they consider it progress. But it's not progress. The Democrats, to make an analogy, would maybe put all of the dining room chairs on the dining room table and want to eat like that. Well, that's not progress.
I don't eat like that.
So when the Republicans say, we're moving the chairs down to the floor, that's not going backwards. That's just making things normal because people eat at a kitchen table. This abortion thing's really not playing. I saw a poll. I think it was Monmouth.
Yeah.
It's like dead last.
Yes,
people are out of touch with this.
Yeah, and Kaylee, wouldn't it make more sense for these people who are so, you know, down on the United States and the 4th of July and the birth of this country, wouldn't it make sense for them to come out and say, you know what, I'm going to fight to pass a law or do something to give them some street cred as it relates to politics?
Yes, no doubt about it. I mean, I woke up on the 4th of July, and my first thought was, I'm the most blessed person in the world to live in the greatest country on planet Earth. What kind of maniac wakes up and says, I'm not celebrating this day? I mean, things have not gone my way in this country. I was born into a world of Roe v. Wade. I hated it. I thought it was the greatest scourge of our nation, and for years have been committed to the pro-life movement. Presidency of Barack Obama, presidency of the aging and decrepit Joe Biden. Those didn't go my way, but it didn't make me less patriotic. So why have we gotten to a place in society where people are like, I hate this country because I don't get my way and I'm going to kick and scream like a 4-year-old? It's because the guy at the top is setting the tone. You don't go to a birthday party, to your point, and say, liberty's under assault, freedoms are reduced, this is how I feel about the country.
Wrap it up, Greg.
I will wrap it up, Judge. I'll do a little rap.
Please don't.
No. I don't think it's about the celebrities as it is about competition. And I think, you know, right now we're living in this era of identity politics, which is based on immutable traits, right? Only a black woman can understand a black woman. Only a gay man can understand a gay man. Patriotism just blows that out of the water. It's about shared values. It's not about immutable traits. It's about, you know, we're Americans. You may be black, I may be white, but we can agree that this cheeseburger tastes awesome, even though we're from different backgrounds. That's what patriotism is. And that is something that identity politics has been fighting against since I guess it came out of the thing. So that's why it is so hated. I would like to see this grift become more exposed and that people can understand that, like, we're we've already marginalized religion, and now we're marginalizing patriotism. So what are you going to put in its place? If you put in its place identity politics, all that is conflict. It's just people versus people. I can't talk to you, you can't talk to me. That's just going to end in violence. Yeah. The whole point of patriotism is for people who are different to get to be part of the melting pot. That's all it is. Sounds ideal, but that's what it is. But I think that's the problem right now is, like, if you're the woke mentality finds this as the greatest enemy it's ever faced, patriotism.
Yeah, they prefer tribalism.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.